Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all your reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Oh, apologies for coming in late today. Thank you for being here. A little button I forgot to push on this end meant that we were 15 minutes late. Thank you so much for joining in, though. If you're still here, thank you for sticking it around. Thank you for your patience. Absolutely appreciate that you're here with us. We have a beautiful story to go through together, and of course, then hopefully you can be on your way to all the rest of your activities on this lovely Friday morning. Thank you so much for joining in and welcome. And if you're here in Oakland, you know today is the teacher strike, one-day strike over unfair labor practice, and also against the closure of public schools, especially those schools that are affected mostly end up being in black and brown areas. So we want to say no to Oakland Unified School District. We can do better. We can do a whole lot more to keep those schools open and to keep those communities together. Thank you so much for joining in today. And straight from here, I'll be heading out to the picket line. Thank you for being here, and good morning to you. Welcome. Please, as always, let me know where you're joining us from, and of course, who is joining in with you, and what are you up to today? How is the weather where you are today? Here in Oakland, it promises to be nice and bright, a little chilly, but nice and bright. And later in the day, we should be around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty good day ahead. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome. Happy Friday. You know the jig is back. You know it's Friday. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome. And we will be reading today this lovely book called Follow the Moon Home. And this one is coming to you from Philippe, Cousteau, and Deborah Hopkinson, and illustrations by Meilo. And of course, we're reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to them indeed. Follow the Moon Home, a tale of one idea, 20 kids, and 100 sea turtles. Join in the fun and find out what this one is all about if you do not know it already. But if you do, of course, it's always good to bring back those lovely books that we have here and enjoy them some more. Thank you so much for being here. Let us see who is with us and ready to enjoy this wonderful story. Good morning to you, Amanda. How are you doing today? Sarah and Nathan out in cloudy Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in. Sarah asked this morning if you have a book room because you have so many good books. It is a very good question indeed. I actually have I've had to bring in lots of bookshelves in here, and very soon moving to a bigger place. So definitely we'll be having a book room in that place. I'm excited for that. But in here I have quite a few bookshelves that have been put up, taking up all the space. Sometimes the books take up my chairs too, but we're here. I love it. Very good question. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad you're here though, and I will be showing you pictures of the book room at the new place once that move happens. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome, Sarah and Nathan, and of course Amanda West. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that you think these books are good. Thank you so much for joining in today. Oh my goodness. Sheba Chanda, how are you doing out in Lusaka, Zambia? Thank you so much for joining in. I hope everything is well out there in Avondale. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And hopefully Benjamin is okay too. Thank you so much for being here with us. Another lovely story coming back to story time for the third time for this one. And I hope that you enjoy it. Yes, indeed. As we were saying out here in Oakland today, Oakland Unified School District or the Oakland Education Association, the Teachers Union, is staging a one-day strike against school closures that have been happening in the school, and where we've not had dialogue with the district really as a way that it should have been happening to see what the way forward should be, and of course to make sure that those communities stay together. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you're well. Join us on the picket line if you can. We will be out there this morning. Some people are already out there, and of course afterwards we're going to be at Lake Merritt where everything will be happening. There'll also be social justice reading corner, and of course I'll be there for that part as well, joining in. And also we have Robert Trujillo who'll be there reading one of his books, and Alejandria Fights Back, which we've read here on Storytime. And then we'll also be joined by Oakland's own Emily Butterfly, another storyteller. Thank you so much for joining in. And then afterwards, if you're familiar with Oakland, we will be at Frank Ogawa Plaza, or Oscar Grant Plaza as it is known now. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome. But we do have this lovely story before we go to the picket line. And this one, remember, this week we have been reading stories that remind us to take care of this planet. And this one has a good example for us. What actions can we take? What are the steps we can take in trying to help our planet? Join in and find out after this short break. We'll be right back. Thank you for being here for story time. All right, here we go. See you on the other side.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Davis. I am a children's book author, illustrator, and high school art educator. I am the author of 30,000 Stitches, the inspiring story of the National 9/11 flag, illustrated by Sally Warren Comport and published with Worthy Kids # book group. One thing that drew me to writing 30,000 Stitches was the idea that people from all different communities came out to stitch this flag and make it whole again. So I hope that when people read 30,000 Stitches, they remember the power of sharing our stories. When people came out to stitch the flag, they shared their stories, whether about loss or pain or love. We all have stories to tell, and by sharing our stories and listening to one another's stories, we can create a better understanding of each other and create a sense of connection and unity. And this is what creates a more inclusive world. I hope you enjoy your story time with Mr. Lamada. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Amanda. And of course, our story for today is Follow the Moon Home. And congratulations to 30,000 Stitches, which has been nominated. If not won, I've not seen the final information, final results, but it was nominated for a very big prize indeed. So stay tuned and we'll be letting you know here what happened. But congratulations to you, 30,000 Stitches, and Amanda, of course, Amanda Davis. Follow the Moon Home, a tale of one idea, 20 kids, and 100 sea turtles. This one is written by Philippe Cousteau and Deborah Hopkinson, and of course illustrations by Meilo and read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Here we go. Follow the moon home. I always need help finding my way, especially in a new place. Before long, you will feel right at home, Viv. But I wasn't so sure. Do you find that you're like that? You need help in new places, finding your way? Me too. Welcome, Vivian, called Mr. J. You're just in time for the fun. We're looking for a problem to solve. I got out my pencil and bit my lip. How was I going to find this problem? Well, here's how you can go about. There's a plan, a class project for community action. Yes, that's what we need to be doing. Community action. Number 1, identify. Find a problem to solve. Use your eyes, ask questions, listen. Number 2, plan. Gather information and figure out what to do. Number 3, take action. Put your ideas into action. Number 4, tell the story. Show how you and we can make a difference. Number 5, reflect. Think about what you did and what you might do next. Isn't that a great plan? And this can work for any problem we want to find in our neighborhood. All right, here we go. I rode my bike all over town looking for a problem. Well, mostly I just got lost. But I rode around looking for that problem. Went past the library, past Market Hall, Town Hall. I went all over the place. On Saturday, I took Samson and Luna for a run on the beach. Mostly, they pulled me. Let's make a gigantic hole, I gasped, plopping down. My big digger and my little digger sprang into action. Suddenly, it was raining sand. Looks like fun, but be sure to fill up that hole, said the man walking by. It's nesting season. I smoothed out the sand and we all went to look. What do holes have to do with the turtles? I asked. It's because of the babies, said a voice. I wailed to see a girl from my school. I am Clementine, she reminded me. Baby sea turtles need a clear path to the sea. Holes and sandcastles can get in their way. I didn't know we had sea turtles here. Samson pulled on the leash. We do. Oh, and look, what happened to this baby? Cried Clementine. Why were you going this way, the wrong way, little one? Oh. Will the little one be redirected? Why were you going the wrong way, little one? Mr. J had told us to use our own eyes. So that night, Mom and I went back to the beach. As darkness fell, we could see bright lights winking on one by one along the shore. That's it, I said. The lights in the beach houses are the problem. Why is that, Mom asked. When baby turtles hatch, they follow the strongest light they see, I explained. So if they head away from the sea, they get dehydrated and die. Oh, what can we do? My heart sank as I stared at the houses. There are so many. How can we ask all these people to turn off their lights? Most of these houses are vacation rentals, Mom said. That means new people come to stay every few days. We'd have to knock on doors every night. Clearly, I needed help to solve this problem, and I knew just how to get it. Go, Viv. On Monday morning, Clementine and I raised our hands first. We told the class what we had learned and observed about loggerhead sea turtles. The sea turtle eggs are starting to hatch, I went on. To save the hatchlings, we need the whole class, the whole town to help. And that's how Lights Out for Loggerheads begun. Our classroom became the Loggerhead Lab. First, we gathered lots of information. We read books. We visited an aquarium and a sea turtle hospital. We asked someone from the South Carolina Marine Turtle Conservation Program to speak to our class. We all brainstormed solutions, choosing the best ideas. Then we got to work. Research is important for sure. Get all your information that you need. We made posters and delivered them all over town. We wrote fact sheets for all the vacation beach houses. And some of them said, "Lights out for loggerheads. Let's keep our beaches dark. At night, turn off outside lights and keep curtains closed." To pay for printing our flyers and posters, we held a bake sale. Andy, the coffee shop man, donated a whole pan of his famous granola. "Happy to help," he said. The editor promised to put my article in the community newspaper. "Nice to have a new writer in town," she said. The printer gave us a discount for the loggerheads. Rebecca and Max learned how to spread the word on the internet. Mr. J helped us write a press release. I was on TV as class spokesperson. Whoa. That is a lot of work, but well worth it. What else happened? We invited volunteers from Scoot, South Carolina, United Turtle Enthusiasts, to a town meeting. When the big night arrived, the room was packed. The room buzzed with ideas. We talked about how to make our beach a great place for turtles, how to mark nests, run nightly patrols, what to do if hatchlings get in trouble. And there are the rules again, the ideas we came up with, the action items. Do keep beaches dark, turn off outside lights during the nesting season. Stay clear, don't disturb nests, adult turtles or hatchlings. Get involved, volunteer, help protect sea turtles on our beaches. Lights Out for Loggerheads campaign. Oh my. At the end, we decided to form our own volunteer group. People cheered for our class. Mr. J beamed. "I am so proud of you all." That was the best night ever. Until, On the last evening of summer school, we went on a turtle patrol. Lots of parents came too. Everyone smiled as we watched the lights along the beach go out one by one. We had done it. Suddenly, a movement on the sand caught my eye. "Over here," I whispered, "over here." What was it? We crept closer. careful to stay quiet. A crescent moon shone on the waves. The sea glittered like silver. Soon the sand seemed to boil over with life. Tiny turtles, no more than 2 inches long, burst from the nest. We watched, barely daring to breathe. Would they know where to go? What do you think? Would they know where to go? Let's observe. Shh. Then they were off, scaring and scaring over the sand and into the shimmering sea. Yay! Scurry away, little ones, into the shimmering sea. Yay! Yay! We stood together, smiling and silent with wonder. Then, just like the turtles, we followed the moon home. Aww. And that is the end. And of course, in the back here, there's a letter to young activists, and it is a beautiful one. I won't read it today, but I'll see if I can post it later on Instagram, as well as Facebook, so you can follow along and see it. But definitely big action plan and encouragement for everybody on the back here. But of course, remember too that if you're going to be helping your community, I think it's important to go back to just that first page with the project and remember to the action items that we talked about. So number 1, identify, find problems to solve. Use your eyes, ask questions. Number 2, gather information and figure out what to do. Important as well. Take action. Number 3, put your ideas into action. Number 4, tell the story. Show how you and we can make a difference. Number 5, reflect. Think about what you did and what you might do next. The end. Thank you so much for joining in today on Storytime. I hope you enjoyed this lovely book, lovely call to action. And indeed, please remember these steps in here. Very important. Look around your communities. Keep your eyes open. Listen. Keep your ears open. And of course, just talk to people, find out information, things that you can do to help in your community. Then research on that and find action items. Encourage people things to do. Find those things that could be done and encourage people to do that. And of course, keep gathering that information and tell that story and indeed reflect. It's also important afterwards, after you've done things, to see what is it that we should keep doing, what is it that we've done well and should keep doing, and also what is it that needs to be improved, right? Or indeed gotten rid of altogether. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate this time that we're here together. Apologies again today for coming in late. Forgot to push one button and that kicked us back 15 minutes. So we're here though. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Friday. I hope this call to action indeed spurs you on today and you go out there looking for things to do, looking for things to improve in your neighborhood. Thank you so much for joining in. Always a pleasure to be here. So glad. Thank you, Sarah and Nathan, and of course, Amanda West. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Absolutely love it. And of course, Sheba Chanda, thank you for joining us. And Benjamin out in Lusaka, Zambia, thank you for being here. And to everybody that is joining us live, and of course for the recording later on, we send you love and indeed ask you to keep looking around in your communities and see how you can help. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Indeed, Kazadan Smile. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm glad you're here, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly too. Thank you for joining us. Storytime is here. We can always go back to our archives and see it. And of course, another reading of this same recording will be back at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if you can join us then as well. But please, you can always go back to the beginning of this one right now and enjoy it right after this, right after we're done. Thank you so much for being here. Please, if you're in Oakland, turn up, support the teachers, show your support for those communities whose schools are being closed down unfairly, and we continue to push back against the powers that be. So I'm headed over to the picket line right now at Emerson Elementary, and then later on we'll be at Lake Merritt. If you're familiar with Oakland, we'll be at Lake Merritt, the amphitheater, including some story read-alouds for social justice, and then we'll be going to the Oscar Grant Plaza in downtown. Thank you so much for being here. Absolutely love it. A busy day indeed. And then from there, of course, if you still have the energy, the Port of Oakland is also staging a protest out there. And so we want to go and support our longshore people as well. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome. Even if you're coming in late, I'm glad we still got to say hi. And of course, I hope you go and enjoy the story after this. To everybody that missed out because we moved our time slightly, so sorry. But I hope that you're able to catch the stories later on. Much love to you. I will see you again next week for more stories, more empowering stories, and indeed more fun stories. We'll be right here, 7 a.m. Pacific time every weekday, as well as 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you for being here. Much love from me. I will see you next week, Monday. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And of course, do visit Storytime platforms. Enjoy our stories that are there. Enjoy from YouTube. Enjoy from Facebook. And of course, follow us on Instagram. And of course, you can also find us at storytimewithmrlimata.com. Thank you so much for being here. Much love to you and your loved ones. And I wish you the very best. Hugs! See you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be